Hello, welcome back to Jeopardy! I'm your host, Alex Trebek, and today we will be getting hooked on science. Anyways, today's contestants are all above average intelligence and all pride themselves on knowing the most useless of information. Our first contestant is a man from Glendale, Arizona, who's currently unemployed and is very fond of the Dallas Cowboys. Hello. Our next contestant is a computer scientist who has no girlfriend. He prefers the touch of a computer rather than an actual human being. Hello, I am a computer scientist. And last but not least, we have a substitute teacher from Omaha, Nebraska, who hates kids. Hello, I hate kids. Our categories include significant dates, contributions to science, architecture, and useless trivia. We'll start with our sports guy, who will take significant dates for 400. What happened on July 8th, 28th, 1635 in Freshwater, United Kingdom? If I'm not mistaken, I believe that is when and where Robert Hooke was born. That is correct. Born in Freshwater, United Kingdom, Robert Hooke was a very famous scientist, most known for his publication of the book Micrographia. Up next, we have the computer geek who will take useless information for 300. Who was Sir Isaac Newton's competitive rival? Albert Einstein? Ooh, I'm sorry, that is incorrect. The correct answer is actually Robert Hooke. Both of them were very competitive with each other because they both tried to establish themselves as the greatest minds in Britain. Next, we have the substitute teacher who has chosen useless information for 100. The question is, who is known as the Leonardo da Vinci of Great Britain? If I had to say, I would say that is Robert Hooke. That is correct. Congratulations. Many people might ask why. Well, that is because Robert Hooke is known to be an expert surveyor, excellent architect, and excellent city planner. And once again, we have the sports guy who will take useless trivia for 500. Who is the assistant to the scientist Robert Boyle in 1653? I don't know. Beethoven? No, that is incorrect. Actually, the correct answer is Robert Hooke. He coined the phrase "cell" when he was examining the structure of a cork. You ever heard of him? Next, we have the computer geek who will take architecture for 200. Who designed Ragley's Hall? I have reason to believe that was Robert Hooke. That is correct. Robert Hooke designed Ragley's Hall for the first Earl of Conway. Up next, we have the substitute teacher who will take useless trivia for 300. Hooke's law is another name for what? If I'm not mistaken, I believe that is the theory of elasticity. That is correct. For those of you who didn't know, the law of elasticity states that the strain applied to an elastic object is proportional to the stress applied. This theory is extensively used in such fields of science as engineering and physics. And we will be right back on Jeopardy after this commercial break. Christmas is right around the corner, and if you haven't gotten your loved one a gift yet, I suggest you get them Robert Hooke's Cell Kit 9000. It comes with everything from the cell chopper to the cell poker to the cell duster and even the cell drawer. It's only right now for $995.99 and plus free shipping and handling if you call the number right here in that area. Okay? Thank you. Welcome back to Jeopardy, a game show with more questions than answers. We'll be going back to Sports Guy for contributions to science for 100. Which book was the first scientific bestseller and one of the most important books ever written? That's a tough one. If I had to say, just a shot in the dark, is it Hooke's Mycographia? That is correct. Actually, that book demonstrated the tremendous power of the microscope and inspired many other scientists to increase their exploration in the field of microscopy. Now we are back to the computer geek, who will take useless trivia for 400. Hooke was one of the first proponents of this theory, a theory which still remains controversial till this day. I believe that is the theory of evolution. That is correct. Before Charles Darwin, Robert Hooke used a microscope to look at fossils, and he concluded that these fossils were beings that were no longer living. At the time, this was theologically unacceptable, which really kicked off the theory of evolution. Next, we have the substitute teacher, who will take architecture for 500. Which monument did Robert Hooke construct in 1677? Ugh. If I had to say, is that the monument of the Great Fire of London? That's correct. Robert Hooke, who unfortunately died on March 3rd, 1703, was an Oxford man. He had many works of architecture, but his most known one would probably be the monument of the Great Fire of London. And with substitute teacher answering that question correctly, I think we have found a winner on this week's Jeopardy! Woo!